to you live from Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. Western Visayas is where I'm located. The Philippines is separated by three big groups of islands: Luzon, Visayas in the middle, and then Mindanao in the south. We're in Western Visayas, is where Numancia, Aklan is located. I'm having my morning cup of coffee on my coffee with the Gino cup, my Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Very popular, 3-in-1 coffee, very popular in the Philippines. It's coffee, cream, and sugar all in one in powder form. And then all you do is put the powder in your cup, get yourself hot water and nice cup of coffee. Very popular here. Several brands of 3-in-1 coffee. At least 25 to 30 brands of 3-in-1 coffee. There's even a Manny Pacquiao, a Manny Pacquiao 3-in-1 coffee here. Hey Tootie, hey Tootie. A long time no see on the live stream, bro. Shane, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I know you're busy. I know you're busy with your eggs, your chickens and your eggs. I know you have a new spot. I remember you mentioning to me you have a new spot. Good luck, good luck. I know that keeps you busy. That keeps you busy. The first thing I always do is I do the weather here in the Philippines. Vegas Will from Las Vegas, he calls me Mr. Weatherman. Let me see here. All right. Right now, there's a low pressure area that causes rain here in the Philippines. Says here eastern sections of Visayas and Mindanao. So we're here in Western Visayas, and that's in Eastern Visayas. So that's probably why we didn't get rain. I didn't see any rain here. It's not from last night, but it does look kind of cloudy there. Let me show you the sunrise. Oh, let me do the weather report first, and then I'll show you the sunrise here this morning. Looks like a beautiful sunrise. It's like I always like it when I wake up and I can see the sunrise instead of like cloudy skies or rain. It says here, Eastern Visayas, Caraga, and Davao region. Davao region is in Mindanao. Because of the low pressure area, cloudy skies, rain, and thunderstorms. Zamboanga, we're still being affected by the southwest monsoon. That's the Habagat season. So that always brings rain here in the Philippines, different times of the day. For us, really, there's no rhyme or reason. They'll just like downpour real quick for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then they'll stop, and then sunshine will come. Like right now, it's cooler in here. I started the live stream earlier than usual for me because I like it because it's a lot cooler. I looked at the temperature before I started the live stream. It's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. I just noticed that when I start my live streams like around 7:30, by 9 a.m., it starts to warm up here. I start sweating when I'm out here, but right now it's nice and cool, nice and cool. I like this. I'm digging it right now. So today it looks like for most of the country, we'll experience a little bit of rain. No typhoons or anything like that. I think that they were thinking that we were gonna get the number 10 typhoon. Jacinto was going to be the name of the typhoon, but it didn't materialize. It didn't become a typhoon. It was just like a low pressure area. Hey, there's Edgar. Edgar. Hey, what's up? What's up, Edgar? Oh, Tootie says, canning plums. Wow, wow. Good morning, Edgar. outside watching the birds. Hey, I'll be doing the same thing here. It's like birds are always flying out here. That's why I like being out here this early. I started doing the live streams more outside. Oh, and I'm wearing my Ati-Atihan shirt. This is my I wear this every time Ati-Atihan. I bought this a couple of years ago during Ati-Atihan. And the reason why I'm wearing my Ati-Atihan shirt is I'm already hearing all the bands in our town of Numancia. They are already practicing like the drum beats of Ati-Atihan. They're already when I'm at the plaza, when I'm riding my tricycle Bumblebee, I'm hearing them, because opening salvo in Kalibo, it's on the first week of October. Let me just show you the sunrise here this morning. Looks like right there. It's just starting to peak there, starting to come up there. Sunrise here in Numancia, Aklan. I do see some rain clouds. Maybe it'll rain, but the sun is up, so that's a good sign. There's our car. There's Bumblebee, our tricycle. I always hear, oh, right there. It's Ate over there. She's always like sweeping her yard. But really quiet. It's just like this in our neighborhood early in the morning. I do hear some dogs barking from the distance, so people are probably starting to get up in the morning here. But looks like we're gonna have a nice day today again. Eggs, canning plums. 2D always, Shane always stays busy with eggs, chickens, and now canning plums. That's awesome. That's awesome, Shane. I scoop in the coop today. Thought you'd share. Thought you'd share, Shane. Thought you'd share. Hope and your family. We're doing good, Tim. Thank you, Tim. Leanna and Mom, actually, they left yesterday. They're in Katiklan. Katiklan is about an hour and 15 minutes away from us. They took the van. There's a public transportation van that they took. They're gonna attend a party today, a kids' party, I think. So that's where they're at today. Probably they're gonna be back here tomorrow. Leanna likes to spend time with her nephews. She's got little nephews. They're one same age, like needs is 12, and then the other nephews are like 8 and 6 years old. She likes to hang out with them. So, and her older brother Miko, she misses the relatives in Katiklan. So she said she'll stay there until Sunday. They'll be back tomorrow. Farming life. Hey, John, my good friend John, Salve, Maggie. Hey, hello, Maggie. In Florida. Good morning, Gino. Glad to catch her live stream. Just finished homework with Maggie. We have storms here this afternoon. Typical Florida late summer. Same here, kinda. It's like I've noticed it does more. We do get more rain, like in the afternoon, like late, like 5 p.m. During sunset, we've been getting some rain here. Cooler weather. Yeah, here it never really gets cooler. It's hot during the summer, but cooler weather. It's still hot even this time of the year, even rainy season, because when the sun comes up, like at around 9:30, it warms up here pretty fast. And I did mention, I commented back to your comment, the Kumon is really working out for us, because lessen my school work with Leanna, because before I was trying to come up with lessons, trying to come up with to add to her schoolwork because I just don't think they teach enough, in the public school here. Oh man, all the dogs are like barking in my neighborhood. They get triggered. The dogs here get triggered. My dog will probably start barking too, Totoy. When she hears all the dogs barking, she joins in. She joins in on the barking. Right, Edgar. All right, the Panay Posse. Yeah, that's why I figured this morning when I woke up, I'll wear my Atiatihan shirt because it's starting to get festive. And that's the thing I was going to mention too this morning. The Burmans, I think people are familiar with the Burmans here in the Philippines, BER, and we're only 2 days away. It's already, I think, the 30th today. Let me just double check. Let me double check. I want to make sure. So we're only a couple of days away. Yep, 30, so 31, and then Burmans. The Burmans here, especially here in our province of Aklan, in Kalibo area, really gets festive fast because everybody's gonna be preparing for opening salvo. Opening salvo, what that is here in Kalibo, it's like a 3-day event in Kalibo, at Pastrana Park. There's gonna be concerts. Sometimes they even have like a car show. Some of the bands, not all of them, not the full force of Atiatihan. Atiatihan is a festival here in our province that happens every January. And Kalibo having the biggest Atiatihan. Atiatihan also happens in Ibahay, town of Ibahay, the different towns in Aklan province. But the biggest one, the most popular one, they call it the mother of all festivals here in the Philippines, happens in Kalibo. 10 days, 10 days of festival. It reminds me a lot of like Mardi Gras because I lived in Louisiana before. I lived in 4 years in Louisiana from 1991 to 1995, and I experienced Mardi Gras in Nolens. I want to make sure I says that correct for my friend Ray in the Philippines. Nolens, and then also even the whole. That Mardi Gras doesn't just happen in Nolens. It also happens in like Shreveport, Bossier City, Alexandria, all communities in Louisiana. Same here in our province. Atiatihan Festival is not just the 10 days in Kalibo. The other towns here in Aklan province also have their version of Atiatihan. Like the town next to us, like Makato, they actually start their Atiatihan before Kalibo. Like I think a couple of days before Kalibo, but very festive in our if you know, and the December is like in here in our province. You just a lot of the towns, the 17 different towns in Aklan province, they all do opening of lights. I know, that's like probably not proper opening. You turn off and on lights, but they call it opening of lights. And each of the towns, each of the municipalities, 17 of them, will have a giant Christmas tree. We'll have like here in Numancia, like I filmed it last year. They'll have like Christmas singing contest, caroling plays, just a lot of activities. Very busy in our province for the whole month of December. That's why when the Burr month starts, like September, October, November, they just start ramping up things here for Christmas. You see the mall. I already actually heard Christmas music at the mall, and it was in even Burman yet. And today I was going to come up with a topic today, and I figure I would discuss Kalibo. That's going to be my topic today, is Kalibo. I had sent notes to myself here. Because I don't remember things as well anymore like I used to. Part of aging, I guess. My memory is not top notch anymore. All right, there you go. I did my notes on Kalibo. Since I figure I better do like a Kalibo. I have done many Kalibo videos. I even did a video one time, you know, Kalibo as a retirement destination. A lot of people actually viewed that video. I think that kind of sparked the interest for people moving to Kalibo. So today I was going to discuss Kalibo Aklan here in the Philippines. Let me just plug my phone here to my power bank because I'm low bat actually. I started this live stream with like a low bat phone. Kalibo is the capital town of Aklan province. There is no city here in Aklan province. I don't think we'll see a city here too. You know, it's like there's certain categories in order for a town to become a city, and I think we're a long way from becoming a city. There are improvements, you know, but also the airport not being used as much, you know, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts Kalibo a little bit, I think. Already discussed Pastrana Park. That is kind of like the center of the town of Kalibo. Most of the towns here in Aklan province, if you go to all the 17 different towns, the center of town is the church, the Catholic Church. Same thing with Kalibo. The Kalibo Cathedral is right in front of Pastrana Park. And then Pastrana Park, that's where everybody, like a lot of the college students, like in Kalibo. Kalibo is kind of like the university hub here in Aklan province. Most of the kids that live in Aklan province, also Antique province, the northern part of Antique province, they go to school in Kalibo because all the colleges are in Kalibo. There's like even for Liena, when it's time for Liena to attend nursing school, there's St. Gabriel College that has nursing school. Aklan Catholic College has a nursing school. Aklan Polytechnic College has a nursing school. Just several colleges. Like Dazzle and I, we attended STI College in Kalibo. The area by the capital area, there's Northwestern Visayas College, STI College, Garcia. There's just a lot of colleges in Kalibo. That's why it stays pretty busy during the school year. A lot of kids from all over the province of Aklan and also from Antique province, they go to college in Kalibo. So it has that college town vibe. If you're walking around Kalibo, like let's say you're walking at Pastrana Park, you're walking at the capital area, you're gonna see college students. I mean, in uniform, because here in the Philippines, college, all the college students wear uniforms. You know, I know that's a little different from the U.S. You know, not big on uniforms, especially for college. And I attended college in the United States, and you can wear shorts, you can wear whatever to the college. But here, everybody's got a school uniform, even for college. And Kalibo is just a small town, but it's really nice. If you're looking for like that small town vibe, Kalibo has that. My friend actually yesterday, Dazzle and I, we went to lunch with Ben and Mai. They're from, he had moved to the United States in the early 80s. Now he's retired back here. Ben's retired here. He lived in San Francisco. And when he retired here, he picked Metro Manila because that's where he's from. But now he's like, he said he don't want the noise. You know, he doesn't want the noise of Metro Manila. That's why he's looking at a possible move here to the province. I met him yesterday. They flew in the night before, and then we met them for lunch yesterday. We ate at the backyard. The backyard is like probably the most popular Filipino restaurant here in Kalibo. Great food. If you're into like, if you want to try a good Filipino food, I recommend the backyard. That's a good place to eat. That's where we eat lunch. and they liked it. They had chicken tinola. I had like crispy pork kare kare. Dazzle had what did she have? The pinakbet, pinakbet. Good dishes. We had a really nice lunch. Good conversation with Ben and Mai. We were there till like 3, I think. We ate like at noon, and we were there like 3 hours for lunch because we had just such good conversation. So Ben and Mai, they're checking out Kalibo. Today they're headed to Rojas City. Then after Rojas City, they're going to Iloilo. And then after that, they're going to go to Bacolod City and Dumaguete City. Those are the places they're looking at to move. And they're a Filipino couple, Filipino-American citizen, just like me, a Philam. They're looking for a possible move here in Western Visayas because they just like, they've seen our videos, they've seen other videos, they watch That Philippines Live, Mike and Kat in Roa City, they're gonna go there today. James and Karen, they've watched James and Karen adventures videos. So they like the vibe here. And then when they landed, they told me they immediately liked Kalibo. They said what they noticed was it's quiet. What they were telling me was in Manila where they live in Parañaque in Manila, actually near the airport. So they hear a lot of airplane noise where they live and also just street noise. That's the one thing he wants to get away from. It's like, he says when he's like in his yard, like a yard like this, there's just a lot of noise, car noise, just noisy. That was his main thing. He said they're staying at the Hotel Simone. That's the same hotel that my friend from Atlanta, Mel, is staying, and he liked it too. But he moved out of there. He's now at La Casa Española. He's renting an apartment now at La Casa Española. So there he was just saying, like, when he came out of his hotel, he can walk around Kalibo and it's quiet, especially in the morning. He said, no noise, and he's liking it. He's liking it. So I'm glad, when we were having, and that's what made me think of doing this video. Talk a little bit about Kalibo. That way, I know many people are coming here. I want to make sure you got all the information, the good, the bad, the ugly. I always like, I don't sugarcoat. I don't just hype up all the good things. I also will let you know, some of the negatives, To me, for some people it might be a big deal, but for me, I always kind of balance, because anywhere you go, there's going to be positive and negatives. And no matter what area you go in the Philippines or anywhere in the world, there's always going to be plus or minuses with different areas. That's why I've never had a problem if somebody asks me, what don't you like about Kalibo? What don't you like about your town? I would tell you, it's like, so in Kalibo now, there's a nice beach esplanade. That's one of the things that's really nice in Kalibo. They built that during the pandemic. They started to build that. Well, there's a lot of flies here this morning. I don't know what causing all these. Normally, I don't have these flies here, but of course, my dogs sometimes poop out here. But I think I picked up all the poop this morning. So, but I just noticed there's like a lot of flies this morning. Maybe something's causing it to have flies. But the beach esplanade's really nice. It's on Lambingan Beach in Kalibo, not far from the center of town. I would say from like the center of town, like Gran Gaisano. From Gran Gaisano Mall, about 3 kilometers away is the beach esplanade in Lambingan Beach. Nice esplanade, and it's still growing. Bike path, jogging path, walking path, nice brick sidewalk, all viewing all the ocean. I mean, it's just they have like 2 piers. You can actually go fishing from that pier. Nice area. I always take people there when they come here. I always take people to the esplanade because it's really nice. Asia Pacific Medical Center, that's been a great addition to Kalibo. for all your medical care, pretty much Asia Pacific Medical Center will cover it. They have all specialties there. You don't even need an appointment for like to see a specialist. If you want to see a cardiologist, you want to see ophthalmologist, oncologist, gastroenterologist. Here in the Philippines, you just go to the clinic and get put on a list. I mean, you'll wait a long time, but it's not like appointments aren't available. You know, I hear that from people now in the U.S. where they want to get an appointment with the VA, and it takes the VA 3 weeks for the appointment sometimes. You know, but here you can just show up at the hospital when they open, go there like when the clinics open. Usually they open at 9 a.m. Just show up there, get on the list. You might have to wait several hours, but you'll get seen that day. Very nice that we have the Asia Pacific Medical Center now. And then Grand Gaisano, it opened, going on, opened last year, so almost a year now that Grand Gaisano opened. So Kalibo, for me, you know, I used to run a lot, and I ran all over Kalibo before, and I live by the Capitol area, and I would run to Pastrana Park, I would run to the public market. It's a walkable. The distance is not. You can walk pretty much anywhere in Kalibo, not far distance, you know. And there's tricycles everywhere. The only thing that you will notice when you walk in Kalibo, it's not walker friendly. Not like when I'm in Iloilo City, when I do videos in Iloilo City, I can walk by SM City, Iloilo. You can walk, you know, there's like nice, big sidewalks, brick sidewalks. There's designated sidewalks, there's designated bike lanes. In Kalibo, it's not like that. The problem is like a lot of our sidewalk in Kalibo, people put businesses in there, you know, like part of if their store is right here, the sidewalk, they feel like they own the sidewalk. So like, let's say this building is like a motorcycle store, like it sells motorcycle, they'll put all their motorcycles on the sidewalk. So you end up walking on the street. Same thing with like, sometimes tricycles even park on the sidewalk, you know. It's not supposed to happen like that, but you know, like a lot of things, you know, they don't follow the rules. They don't follow the rules. And then a lot of times the sidewalk in Kalibo, they're not flat. You know, there's like elevation. There's like, you just have to be careful. You know, it's like my friend Ruben, he walks all the time now in Kalibo when he's here. And that's what he says. He just has to be careful. Now at Pastrana Park, no problem. Because Pastrana Park and the Capitol area, a lot of people jog that area. A lot of people in early morning and then sunset, a lot of people jog in that area. So very walkable, you can jog. But there's just certain sections, like especially right now they're renovating, they're building a brand new public market. It's gonna be amazing once it's built. It's like 3 or 4 stories of public markets. It's gonna be huge. But that area, again, the sidewalks there, when I walk there, you end up walking on the street, you know, because there's just no room to walk on the sidewalk. And it's been like that forever, you know. It's like, I don't think they'll ever get fixed, you know. It's like, I've been around Kalibo now. I moved to Kalibo from Boracay. I used to live in Boracay. Then I moved to Kalibo in 2012 when I went to college in Kalibo for 4 years. I had an apartment in Kalibo. So for those 4 years, I got to know Kalibo. And we live, our house here is only 3 miles away from Kalibo. So we do all our grocery shopping in Kalibo. And that's one thing nice now, because the Grand Gaisano opened, there's a grocery in Grand Gaisano. So there's a Save More grocery, Gaisano grocery there. And then the City Mall Kalibo has a Save More grocery and SM Cherry. So we have 3. we have three modern groceries now in Kalibo. There's other groceries, but I don't consider them modern, because they're just like a bigger sari-sari store is what they look like to me. But three modern groceries, where the meat is refrigerated, the fish, the chicken, they're all ice. It's like that's what I look for. For when I say modern grocery, that's what I look for. Unlike in the public market, when you go to the public market, a lot of times your beef, your pork, they're just like laying out there. It's like they're it's just displayed on the counter. No ice, no refrigeration. We buy most of our meat products. We buy it most in Kalibo at the grocery stores. Talked about the sidewalks, and the streets of Kalibo actually gets pretty crowded, especially around 7 a.m. to like 8 a.m. and then again at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. because of all the kids that go to school. Lots of tricycles. I mean, we have just like an enormous amount of tricycles in Kalibo. It's like it gets congested because of all the tricycles. There's even areas in Kalibo where the tricycles would park, and there's like 100 of them, and they're occupying one side of the road. It's supposed to be like a two-way street, and they'll occupy one side, so it becomes like a one-way street because of all the tricycles that are parked. Just so many tricycles in Kalibo. That's why the congestion when it's like taking the kids to school in the morning and then picking them up. That's why I decided to just keep Leanna here in Numancia for her schooling. I didn't want to hassle with that going to Kalibo every day. It's just even crossing the bridge, during the morning. It gets hectic on that main road, like Rojas Avenue. A friend of mine from Iloilo, that he noticed that he said he didn't like Kalibo because he said it's just too crowded, too traffic with the tricycles, and I get his point. It's like there's certain times when there's so many tricycles, traffic in Kalibo. Like I said, early 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then again 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. that gets congested in Kalibo. All right. Oh, and the other thing, people ask me this too, beggars in Kalibo. There are beggars in Kalibo. There's a group of people, I don't think they're really local. I don't think they're local here to Kalibo or Aklan. They call them Bajau people. I researched it a little bit online, but it says the Bajau people are like water people. They mostly like live in fishing communities. But in Kalibo, there's just a group of like Bajau, almost kind of like indigenous looking people, the Bajau, and they're beggars. That's what they do. Sometimes you'll even see like a 10-year-old kid or a 12-year-old kid carrying like a baby, and they're begging. Me, I always just give them money. I always kind of keep change on my car. And then if I have food, I'll give them food because, like, to me, it's not a big deal. I don't mind. I know people say don't give because you're encouraging them, things like that. But for me, it's like, I don't mind. I don't mind giving them. And then if you go to the old Gaisano, not the new Gaisano, the new Grand Gaisano, no beggars there outside. But the old Gaisano Mall, it's called Gaisano Capital, right at the entrance, they always have these beggars there. It's like, I know there's one guy there, I can tell he's crippled, he's always there. And then there's a lady, unfortunately, dressed, like homeless. That's their spot, So there are beggars, not as bad like as in Manila. In Manila, they're just like on the streets. You could be in traffic and people they're knocking on your window. but they do have them, so, you know, so for people coming to Kalibo, I don't want them to be surprised. Gino said, no beggars here, but there are beggars. There are beggars in. And then the other thing that I noticed in Kalibo, and actually one video went viral in Kalibo a few months back, is and I see it also like in the province here, like in different towns when I'm driving. You see mentally ill people. You can tell they're mentally ill because they look like they're homeless. They're talking to themselves and they're just walking around. You'll see that unfortunately also in Kalibo. Not many, but there was actually a lady. They had a name for her. I forget the name, but you would see her. You would see her in Kalibo, in Pastrana Park. My friend, even Tim from Las Vegas, told me, "Hey, dude, have you seen that guy that always walks around Pastrana Park?" And I have, and you can tell he's mentally ill. But the thing here in the Philippines, they just don't have a place for them. I guess there's no like mental health facility institution. So a lot of times they're just walking the street, and you would see that. You would see that all over pretty much Aklan province. Sometimes I see them on the highway. I'm driving and I see them. Again, it's unfortunate, but they're here. So and then you got to be careful because like one time that one mentally ill person attacked a person. In Kalibo, and that went viral here in Kalibo. So you got to be careful. Me, I just kind of stay away. It's like I don't think it's a good idea. When you see them, I just kind of walk the other way. Kind of avoid them because I know you want to kind of help them. Want to give them something, but just to be safe, just to be careful because you don't know what they're capable of doing. You don't know what's going on in their mind. Just to be safe. So. That is here also in our province. So you will see that. And then, of course, stray dogs. I mean, Kalibo, even here in Numan, anywhere in our province, there's just so many stray dogs. And for like for Dazzle and I, we're dog lovers. We love our dogs. They're like part of our family. It's hard to see sometimes. We've even like brought dog food in our car in Ziploc bags. And so when we see a stray dog that's in Kalibo or somewhere, we'll just put in the ground. That way they have something to eat. But it's like you can't avoid it. You're gonna see stray dogs, unfortunately. They usually are skittish of people. It's like a lot of times they're like move away from people. But there are some like that travel in packs that are pretty aggressive. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you're walking around Kalibo, especially with dogs, especially at night. I think you just got to be careful, period, because and as far as nightlife in Kalibo, there isn't really a nightlife in Kalibo. I know there's a few bars, a few disco even. There's an overtime disco. I don't know if they're still open. But as far as nightlife, Kalibo doesn't have a nightlife. In my opinion, it doesn't have a nightlife. They do have food parks. The food parks in Kalibo open late, all the way to midnight, I think. And you can sit there in the food park. They got several food stalls. They have a live band, and people are drinking beer. There's places like that in Kalibo. I think 3 or 4 places like that in Kalibo you can go to. But for the most part, in Kalibo, once the malls close, like City Mall Kalibo, Grand Gaisano Kalibo, when they close around 9 p.m., once they close, the whole town just falls asleep. Lights, the lights come off. Not very well lit. There's only certain areas that are lit, but a lot of places in Kalibo are not even well lit at night. So. I hardly go to Kalibo at nighttime. I'm in bed by 8 p.m. I'm in bed by 8 p.m. So, and like what my friend Ben and I were saying, they just like Kalibo, just the night that they spend, and then yesterday when we were talking to them, Kalibo just has that small town vibe. It's not a city. You know. I can remember Kalibo. We only got like the street lights in Kalibo maybe 6 years ago. You know, my first few years in Kalibo, not a single traffic light. And even now, I would say at Rojas Avenue, one, two, maybe the entire Kalibo, the entire town of Kalibo, maybe we have six intersections with traffic lights. Before that, you know, we didn't even have traffic lights. You know, you know, it's amazing when you think about it. The amount of vehicles in Kalibo. There was a time that we didn't have traffic lights, but you know, we're just used to that. You know, driving here because there's just a certain tempo when you drive in Kalibo. Like in our town of Numancia, we have 35,000 people here in Numancia. Not a single traffic light, not a single traffic sign. I mean, there's all kinds of intersections here, but no traffic sign, no traffic light in our town. But like I said, there's just a tempo on how you drive. You know, like when I drive, when I get to an intersection, I just kind of slow down. I look around. I look always. No right of way here. You know, the person on the right, they don't follow that. You basically have to look for who's aggressive. You know, it's like there's people that are on the tricycle that they don't even like pause. They don't even like me. I'm pausing. I'm pausing at an intersection. There's motorcycles or tricycles. It's like nothing. Like the intersection is nothing. They just go through the intersection. That's why I just let them through. You know, I've never been in an accident. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. You know, I've been driving now for 11 years here. Never been in an accident because I'm super defensive, super careful. I don't fight with with the drivers. I don't try to beat a driver to the spot. I always give way. You know, and to me, that's the best way to drive here, I think. It's like, give people the way. Sometimes when I give them the way, they don't want to go because they're like, they can't believe it. You know, they can't believe it. It's like, this guy's letting me through. You know, they can't believe it. I think they get kind of like ashamed that, you know, they're so aggressive in their driving. And with that small town vibe, like when Dazzle and I, when we're out and about in Kalibo, we always run into people we know. You know, it's like it's a small town. You know, it's like I cannot go to the grocery store without seeing somebody that I know in Kalibo. Can't go to the Gran Gaisano. Every time we go to Gran Gaisano, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you? It's like you know everybody. It's just that small town vibe. And for me, the reason that I like the small town vibe, for me, because I live on a budget, on a retirement budget. I'm living on my military retirement alone. It's just cheaper to live here. I would say I experienced it when we lived in Iloilo City for 4 months. We lived there. Overall cost compared to Iloilo City, the cost of living here in Kalibo, here in Aklan, here in Numancia, I would say at least 25% less. You know, we spend at least 25% more on housing, on food, on fruits, vegetables, everything. Tricycles, jeepney, everything. Everything just costs more in the city. So that's why I've always told people, if you're really on a budget, like Ruben, you know, my friend Ruben, he's on Social Security alone, perfect for him. You know, like I said, it's not, you know, it's not all good. You know, it's not like there's good and bad. You know, there's good and bad. But if you're on a budget, and if budget is a concern, if you like to save money, you will save money retiring in Kalibo instead of retiring in Iloilo City. Not saying that it's better than Iloilo City. All I'm saying is like people look for different things. You know, I have a friend. He's in Iloilo City. I moved him to a condo in Iloilo City because he prefers the city life. He prefers SNR, having SNR. We don't have SNR here. Not many American goods are sold here in Kalibo. We don't have shops in Kalibo where you can get American products. And so that was a big thing for my friend because his diet, he's really particular about his diet. So it works for him that he lives in Iloilo City in a condo, walking distance to SNR. He loves it. He loves it there. But again, it costs him more. His condominium is I think it was at least 25,000 pesos, for a condominium. We don't even really have condominiums yet here in Kalibo. We don't have a building that's a condominium. We have apartment complexes, but no condominiums yet. I'm sure they'll start building more. What I've seen is they just keep building like apartments, maybe a dozen units, or townhouses. They're building those in Kalibo, but no condominiums yet. No, unlike in Iloilo City. I mean, it's like condominium central. They're building nonstop condominiums, tall buildings, 20 floors of condominium. Big cranes. You're always seeing that in Iloilo City. All right, to make sure I got everything. Yeah, that's pretty much. I just wanted to discuss that. That way, you have an idea of what Kalibo. I don't want to be like, I'm not hyping Kalibo up. It's like I do love living here. I like the small town vibe. But that's me. I understand everybody's different. What like a dream life for me, what a comfortable life for me. Somebody will say, I couldn't live there. I couldn't live there. I don't know how you could live there. That kind of thing. So, just wanted to make sure I threw that out there. Coconut tree without coconut. All right, I like that. I like that name. It's 1 a.m. You're still awake. All right, thank you for joining the live stream at 1 a.m. What a life. All right. Hello, John from Edgar. John, hello. Were you an actor? An actor? No. People tell me I look like Gus Fring. The channel here. Everybody keeps telling me I look like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. And I'm a fan, big fan of Breaking Bad. I watched it several times. I'll probably watch it again. That's how I like Breaking Bad so much. Joe, good morning. Greetings and salutations, HD. All right, greetings and salutations. Good to see you, brother. It's Labor Day week. Oh, Labor Day. That's right. Man, I try to keep track of the news, and I did see the news regarding the shooting. My prayers and thoughts and prayers go out to the family. That's just, it's unfortunate how those shootings, keep happening, but, it is what it is, I do try to keep track of the news in the United States, but I just started, not to pay attention so much. Before I was kind of keeping track of the different news, but sometimes, it just kind of keeps repeating itself. And then, the back and forth with the politics in the U.S. Sometimes I really don't try to pay attention anymore. I get enough from people sending me stuff. It's weird how there's still people that don't stop. They keep sending me. I've mentioned on the channel. I've already said. I'm not political. I don't get political. It's like. I respect both sides. I'm kind of like Switzerland. I try to stay peaceful. To keep my peaceful life. But I still keep getting, from friends. I get all these different political ads or whatever. But I try not to get involved with that. I do like to keep track of news in the U.S. But sometimes, it does get overwhelming. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to ruin my peace. It's like I found peace here in the Philippines, and that is priceless to me. I think out of all the things that I love about the Philippines is how peaceful life here is. Peaceful how life is here in our community, in our province. It's like... I can just go days if I don't go online, if I don't go on YouTube or Facebook. My life here is so peaceful. Some might say it's boring, but I don't think it's boring. Just because Dazzle and we always do our walks. I walk my dogs. It's like a peaceful neighborhood. So to me. that is priceless to me. That's why I enjoy the most out of my retirement here. So that's why sometimes, it's like I don't keep track of the news as much. I do know I have to, because like the Philippine news, I know people will ask me, Gino, what you think about this thing happened? I said, oh, that happened. So I actually have to research. And same thing with the news in the U.S. Gino, did you hear about this? I was like, oh, I don't. So I have to go online. But I try to do a balance because for me, my peace of mind is worth more than anything. It's like I don't want to get roped into like. Yes, Gino, I know Christmas season started in September in the Philippines. The stores start, oh yeah, they already start Christmas music, decoration, start selling Christmas trees, Christmas items at the mall. We were at the Japan Home Center in Gran Gaisano a week ago or so, and they were playing Christmas music already. I get to experience all for. All right, all right. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Edgar. Yeah, we're gonna make like I'm gonna do everything I can to make your soft landing here in Kalibo. It's like I try to do that with everyone anyway. So don't feel like you're special, Edgar. Don't feel, I just want people when they come here. I want them to have like that. What's that smooth transition, that soft landing in the Philippines, and then after that, if they decide, like, I know some people decide to move somewhere, that's up to them, because like I wouldn't stop them. It's like I always tell people, even when you do your recon, when you go travel the Philippines, just don't decide, oh, I hate the Philippines because I went to Metro Manila. Don't be like that. It's like if you don't like Metro Manila, go somewhere else. Go to Negros Island, go to Iloilo City, visit Dumaguete. Find your place before you make a comment. Oh, the Philippines sucks. I don't like the Philippines. At least try a few places. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. And if you don't like it, hey, it's not like anybody's forcing people to come here. It's like. That was my friend Ben. He was saying he gets upset when he hears that from people, how terrible the Philippines is. It's like nobody's forcing anybody to come here. It's like they're welcoming you here. The Philippines, out of all the countries in Southeast Asia, I could say this: the easiest visa process in Southeast Asia. Even Thailand can't compare to how easy the process here in the Philippines for becoming a tourist. Just coming here, welcoming you. As long as you make your visa payments, you're good. In Thailand, I know I have friends there that moved there. After your second renewal of your visa, you gotta leave the country. Here in the Philippines, you can stay here on a tourist visa for up to 3 years. And then if you decide you want to stay longer, you just leave for 1 day. Just fly 1 day to Thailand. Come back the next day and your 3 years is good again. You don't have to get the SRRV. I know people say, well, I don't want to deposit, $10,000, $20,000 on the SRRV. You don't have to get that. Just come here, try out the Philippines for a few months. If it's for you, just use the tourist visa. You can stay, like I said, nothing has changed. You can stay here up to 3 years on a tourist visa. Have fun, Edgar. Oh, we're gonna make HD. We're gonna make sure Edgar has fun here. It's the start of the Panay Posse. The Panay Posse is gonna make sure we have fun when they come here. How you been busy here? Moved Embla. Still good here. All right, Shane. All right, Shane. Good AM Fortune. Good AM Fortune. Family and the Panay Posse. Thanks, HD. Good morning as well. All right. Long weekend in the U.S. for Labor Day. I'm glad you reminded me, Shane, that it was Labor Day in the U.S. That wasn't even in my mind that it was a Labor Day in the U.S. Joe, yeah, I know, right, Fortune? Joe Marie Chan, you know. There's a guy here in the Philippines, his name is Joe Marie Chan. He sings like Christmas music, carols and things like, and you will see his face on Facebook, on memes. He just starts popping. It's kind of like it's funny. It's funny when you see him. That means the Burmans are here. Christmas is coming. Hello, Fortune. Hello, Niels. All right, Niels. All right. From James and Karen's Adventures channel. I see you all the time there, Niels. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining the live stream. You have lots of vlogs, vids, trying to catch up. LOL, Joe. I do, man. I have over 1,000 now. I think Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida, he reminded me like a month or 2 months ago, hey, Gino, you're going to hit 1,000 videos, you know. So I do have a lot of videos, and I've been doing YouTube since March of 2022. So I'm many years now. I'm up there now as far as years. I'm going on, come March, it'll be 4 years I'm on YouTube. Good AM, JSM. Gino, the expected Jacinto from East did not materialize. I know. That's why the Jacinto name, they're going to keep that name for the next typhoon, I'm sure. Yes. That happens. And I figured that out, you know, that they're kind of like, they have a name for it before it comes, but if it doesn't come, they'll just wait for the next typhoon. And I'm sure we're on Jacinto, that would have been like the 10th typhoon. So for this year, we're still looking at least nine more typhoons before the end of the year. I remember last year, October, we had 4. And it all hit like that northern Luzon, the Cagayan area, 4 in 1 month. So that's how easily the weather can change here. It can pick up all of a sudden. But I do remember October last year, we had 4 typhoons in October in like the northern Luzon area. Next up, typhoon though, is Kiko. All right, Kiko. I like the names. That they come up with, man. Yeah, no, I'm sure, you know, it's like Fortune. I'm sure you guys have had enough rain in Cavite. I know you've had, you know, more rain that you want this year already in your area. And in Manila, of course, Manila, you know, the floods in Manila, you know, that's always going to be a problem in Manila. Still busy in the yard. Bees nest to get tonight. Ooh, bees nest, man. I haven't seen any bees nests here. Good thing, Shane. Good thing, I don't know. Take care of the bees nest there, man. I'm happy that Kumon is working well for Liana. Yes. I'm happy too. Thank you so much, Fortune, for guiding me through that, to like encouraging me, because it's lessened the work for me. You know, it's like before, you know, it's like I've been Liana's tutor for 2 years. I knew she wasn't getting enough from the public school here in Numancia, so I always like came up with lessons on her iPad. We would research stuff, National Geographic, History Channel. I was just trying even introduce medical terminology to her because she wants to be a nurse someday. You know, I was running out of like, you know, because I'm just trying to like see what I can teach her. You know, even like budgeting, how to handle money, but. You know, I'm not an educator, you know, it's like, so I'm glad that I found Kumon, because now I know she's good to go. Between the math, her math skills are gonna improve, reading and English. It will be an easy transition for her when she moves from high school to nursing school. I'm gonna keep her in Kumon. I'm sold, brother. I'm sold on Kumon. They can interview me about Kumon and I'll be like, hey, I'm sold. I love this Kumon thing. I'm glad you talked me into it, Fortune. Yes, the repetition. And what I like, Fortune, I like how I noticed they do a lot of calculation and math in their head. And I like it how they time it too. When Leanna's there, I'm watching her, and they have these math lessons where she has to compute it in her head, and they time her. So she has to write her answer, but you can't do a scratch paper. You can't use your fingers, So she's computing a lot in her head, and they're timing her. So I know her brain is like getting challenged, and to me, that I was impressed with that when I watched it at the Kumon Center in Kalibo. Reading will improve your grammar. Yes, yes, of course. I mean, right, right. Fortune, she's reading so much now. And then before, she would read. I have books that I bought for Leanna, and she would always ask me, Kuya, what does this word mean? Or Kuya, what that? So, I would explain it to her. But now, I don't have to because she has assignments. She has assignments with Kumon. So I don't even have, hey, Leanna, have you read that book? Or did you finish reading? I don't have to do that anymore. I see her reading and doing her Kumon work at home, to include her work from school here. I like the color of t-shirt, Gino. It's maroon. Oh, yeah, maroon, the fighting maroons. I love this shirt because what I like about this shirt, Fortune, it doesn't have a date. It doesn't, some of them will have Ati-Atihan 2023, 2024. So this shirt, I can wear this shirt forever, because it just says Ati-Atihan Festival, Kalibo Aklan, Philippines. So it's good for many, many years. I just kind of wash it, hang it, keep it for the next Ati-Atihan. I don't have to keep buying Ati-Atihan shirts. This is my one Ati-Atihan shirt that I wear every year. And then I have black shirts that we had made, had Dazzle TV on it. Because in Ati-Atihan here, everybody likes to wear black because to copy the Ati tribe. People even put charcoal on their faces and all that. So a lot of people wear black during Ati-Atihan. And I have a Dazzle now. We have a black shirts that has Dazzle TV because when I'm filming at Ati-Atihan, people are always asking me, what's your channel, Kuya? What's your channel, Kuya? So I just point to my shirt. I point to my shirt like that. So that way I don't have to keep, and Dazzle's name, when I say Dazzle TV, they're like, how, they're having trouble spelling it. Dazzle, how do you spell that? Some people spell it with double Z, some people spell it with Z-E, they can't spell Dazzle's not a common name here. So it's good that we have the Dazzle TV shirts and we just point to it. Howdy to all. Hey, Daniel, all right, you made it. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, brother. My good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. Hello. Tudi, it's good to hear that you're doing good. I've been busy with the banking stuff. I spoke with the Citibank, and they told me that they don't really have an issue with international address. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear, HD. It must be like bank to bank, right? Right, HD? My Citibank doesn't have a problem, with international address. To me, it makes sense. Why would they matter, where you're living, But who knows, man? Who knows? To me, the main thing is you're keeping your money in their bank. Banks should be fighting for your money. I know here in the Philippines they do. I know here, when expats have a problem opening at a certain bank, they just go to the bank that they can open the account with. Because to me, it makes sense. Why would you not have a foreigner's money in your bank? It's that's like guaranteed money every month that they're gonna be depositing and getting from your bank. 2D, yay! Be careful, the bees. Oh my God, we get wasp. I have seen wasp here before. I'm careful with that too, John. Sometimes there are wasps in there, and I always try to clear it out before it gets big. Usually it starts like a little. I see the wasp nest, and it keeps getting bigger. So I always kind of keep track. Make sure that I remove them while they're still little. I don't want like a hornet's nest attacking me here out in the yard. We have to spray them. Yeah, I know you guys have that, that, almost like a shotgun spray. I've seen those, Here, man, old school, man. It's like you clean it with walis ting ting, man. Walis ting ting. And then run. And then run. Hello, Daniel. How's your packing? I think Daniel's. He mentioned to me he's getting rid of the storage units. He's been working on his storage units. The Spanish setup of Poblacion has the three main institutions in the main square. You have church, municipal, and city, and police. Yeah, yeah. That's. Let me see. In Kalibo, yeah, well, in Kalibo, you have the cathedral and then Pastrana Park and the police. At the mayor's office, they kind of moved it away. They put it, it's still kind of like in the Poblacion area at Magsaysay Park is where the mayor of Kalibo sits. But that's a common. Like here in our town of Numancia, our church, our mayor's office, and the plaza, they're all in one area. They're all in one area. Yeah, it must be like the Spanish, everything revolves around the Catholic Church. That's pretty much here, all the 17 towns here in Aklan province is like that. The plaza area, the center of town is where the cathedral or the big church for each of the towns. And then the plaza will always have Jose Rizal. There's always like a monument to Jose Rizal, the national hero, and also Andres Bonifacio. We got that. Our plaza, little plaza we have, but we have a statue, a monument of Jose Rizal, a monument of Andres Bonifacio. JP Morgan only works with business acquisition, so Chase don't deal with international. Chase said it's the same with Hawaii. They can't provide banking. Oh, Hawaii, because of bylaws. Watch a great blog today on Boracay Nucos area at White Sand, Private Beach. Oh yeah, man. I did a couple of Boracay Nucos videos, man. That's why I told you, Daniel. I see myself and Dazzle living there once I collect my Social Security in 3 years. We'll just rent. We'll rent one of those one-bedroom condos in Boracay Nucos. Mom and Leanna, they can stay here when Leanna goes to college, when she goes to college in Kalibo. I just have a feeling that when Leanna starts college, she won't need ate and kuya as much. Right now everything's like ate and kuya. Kuya, ate, she's always but you know how it is, once they start college, they start, building their life. And, I'm all for that. I'm all for, we will help her, guide her. But when it's her time to go to college, her plan is to go overseas and work as a nurse. I'm all for supporting that. Yeah, they have Daniel. They have a steakhouse there at Nucos Boracay, Wolfgang Puck, and they have like a Mexican restaurant. They have a Chinese restaurant. They got 7-Eleven. I mean, and they're building more. In the last time I was there, when I was filming it, they're building this. It looks like going to be a mall because it's like 8 stories high. I don't know what they're building there. Right there, headed to the beach, going down from. Headed down the beach at two private beaches at Nucos Boracay. And they have buses now going in and out of Boracay Nucos, the hop in, hop off, hop on, hop off. It's you get a card and you can ride that bus all over Boracay. So they're making it accessible, easily accessible, Boracay Nucos. It's gonna boom, man. That area is gonna boom. That's why there's gonna be more people moving there. People are building houses there. I mean, the land there is not cheap. You gotta have a lot of money if you want to build a house at Boracay Nucos. But it's gonna be kind of like the BGC of Boracay. That area is gonna be like a similar, like a mini BGC there. Setting up for moving abroad. Oh, I know, HD. I know it's a lot of work. Not just like getting rid of stuff, making sure that you get here. A lot of times, HD, the problem here, with that 2 identification thing, OTP, all that, a lot of people maintain their cell phone from the US when they come here. I know Brian My friend Brian, he's from Houston. He has a house here in Leso now. He maintained his U.S. phone because of that issue. Like if you have to, like me, that's why I don't even like going to like the VA websites, the government websites, because a lot of times I can't get in. I can't get in the OTP. I can't get into like the websites. I just give up. I just like I said, HD, I'm trying to like wean myself from any connection from the US. Like if I could get my military pension in a Philippine bank, that is my last connection with the U.S. I would not, I still have to file my taxes forever because death and taxes, those are the only things you can get away from. I can file that online with H&R Block online, but you know, but for you, since you're planning on moving here, there's a lot. There's a lot. Like if you want access to the things that you're used to accessing in the U.S., once you get here, they make it difficult. They make it difficult to access. That's why I know a lot of foreigners, when they move here, they maintain their U.S. Cell phone and their U.S. number, But for me, it's not worth it because I don't do enough. I don't do enough with the United States to where I need to maintain that cell phones. There are many things to try. Remember, on the top of your moving stuff, I started a checklist of things I think of so that I don't forget. Yes, I remember that, man. I had an Excel spreadsheet before I moved to the Philippines. Checking off, new laptop, new unlocked phone, my board shorts, like I had like 4 or 5 pairs of board shorts, things that I knew I was gonna need here. And I also bought like my own snorkeling gear, it's like because I love to snorkel, so I knew when I got here, I wanted like the good quality that came from the U.S. that I bought. There's things that you'll come up on your list. You don't want to fly back and forth if you forget. Oh yeah. I've never gone back. It's like, and actually, if it was just me, HD, I would never go back to the U.S. I'm not against it, but to me, I don't have any reason to go back. I've already seen the things I wanted to see in the U.S. For me, the only reason for me to ever go back to the U.S. would be like, I want to show Dazzle on a vacation. We would like to go on that van life. We wanted to like rent a van, and I wanted to drive that van all over Nevada, Arizona, California, Texas, New Mexico. I wanted to show Dazzle places that I've seen before. But if it was just me, I've seen it. I lived more than 30 years in the U.S. There's nothing for me. There are places that I wish I'd seen, like my friend Belus in Wyoming. I wish I had seen Wyoming. I wish I had seen Niagara Falls. But is it like one of those things that if I don't, it doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And it happened now, so I'm fine with it. I'm cool with like my rest of my life here in the Philippines. There's many places here in the Philippines that I haven't been yet that I want to see. HD, I got a 2-year calendar to help me keep on my timeline. Keeps lots of notes. All right. Looks like Daniel's like on it. Daniel's on it. It's taking you 2 years to make the move, or is that the timeline to move? Timeline to move. Fortune, I have lived in Makati, Quezon City, and now in Bacoor. I am just in the metro because of work. Won't get the type of work I do in the provinces. I understand. I know many of my classmates from college, Fortune, they live in Manila now and Cebu City because of the work. That's where the work is. So totally understand that, you go where the work is, a lot of my classmates, very few are still here in Kalibo. When we graduated in 2016, I would say the minute we graduated, half of them moved to Manila and Cebu City, and some in Iloilo City. Because there's no jobs here in Kalibo. If they had stayed, the ones that have stayed here, my friend, that's a nice friend. She works at the MMG, like the doctor's clinic. So she's making decent money because she's really smart, even during college. She manages like an office, like a medical office type. But not many good paying jobs in Kalibo. Most of the jobs in Kalibo are like the mall, the fast food places, service industry. That's not good money. It's like, and we graduated. We were like IT, information technology. We knew how to code. We knew how to computer works. That's why they all ended up in call centers. They all ended up in like. Um, a virtual assistant. That's kind of big now, virtual assistant. I know a few of our classmates from college, that's what they're doing, making good money, virtual assistant, working for companies abroad, like working online. But if I had a choice to retire, I'm going home to, yeah, of course. I understand, Fortune. Panay, yeah, Panay, and like live like Gino, simple life. Except I'm married to a Caviteña. You're married to Caviteña, so retirement for me will be in Cavite. And Cavite is nice. I mean, I know Cavite is like areas in Cavite like a provincial area. Visit Panay maybe when I retire frequency. Yeah, yeah, And you're close to, you got Tagaytay, you got Laguna area, Batangas, you got beautiful area where you're at, Fortune. But one thing when we traveled, Fortune, I remember when we traveled in Luzon, driving through Batangas, we drove to Angeles City, Lagunas, we went to Santa Rosa, Laguna, those places. When we in Tagaytay, when we drove, everywhere we went, Fortune, Dazzle and I noticed, it's just cheaper. Everything's cheaper here in Aklan. That's one thing we noticed. Like even fruit stands. Little things we noticed, like prices of mangoes, prices of fruits, vegetables. We just noticed on a lot of our travels. Our area, Aklan Province, probably one of the cheaper costs of living in the Philippines. Yeah, just all over our travels. It's like even Dumaguete. It's like we just have like cheap produce here and cheap fruits. Where James and Karen's adventure live, Balete, man, they got like the best fruits and vegetables in that area. I guess because of the land, because of the soil in Balete. In Aklan Province, that is the place where people that travel from Iloilo, even when they visit Aklan, they make sure they stop at Balete because like rambutan, lanzones, avocados, man, they bananas, plantain. I mean, everything just grows so well in Balete. We actually go to Balete just to buy fruit. And when it's like lanzones time and rambutan time, Dazzle, we have to drive to Balete. It's only 30 minutes away, but that's where we get a lot of our fruit. Daniel, HD, all in all, is about 18 months timeline for me. Next week is my 6 month tomorrow. All right, oh man, that's gonna go by fast. Daniel, 6 months is nothing, especially with the holidays coming. Next thing you know, like for us here, I know once the Burr month starts, Daniel, everything just flies because like September hits, you start seeing all this Christmas stuff, and then opening salvo hits in October. And the next thing you know, opening lights happens like in the different towns. Then Christmas, the fireworks here, the celebration, the whole month of December, and then with the New Year's, then after New Year's, it's Atitihan. That's why this time of the year in our area anyway, from September all the way to February, end of January, it just becomes so festive here in Aklan Province. And then all of a sudden, when February hits, February to like August, it quiets down. Nothing happens. Everything seems to happen this the Burr months, and then January because of Ati-Atihan Festival, and it keeps getting bigger. Ati-Atihan Festival here, every year that I've been here, maybe slowed down during the pandemic, of course. But now, Ati-Atihan is just getting bigger and bigger now. And then this year, I know it's going to be amazing again. It's gonna be a big festival. I mean, the competition for like the best band, the best group at the Atihan groups. I mean, the prices are like 1,000,000 pesos. It's like encourages a lot of the towns to really like prepare for the festival. Show off like the dance moves, the costumes, the bands. It's like I mean, you tell a Filipino that the grand prize is like 1,000,000 pesos and up and up. It's a lot of incentive, to really show their stuff during Atiatihan. Joe, I'm good with that. I'm in bed at 5 in Manatee, California now. I don't know, Manatee, California now. Our community is like a ghost town. You hardly see people out, but I see ambulance every. It's the same. Like here, it's like I said, like in Kalibo, the minute the malls close at 9 p.m., City Mall, Kalibo, Grand Gaisano, they close. The whole town just shuts down. So if you're looking for nightlife, that kind of thing, not the place, not the even Iloilo City. They have areas in Iloilo City. I remember the Atria. They have a few bars around near the SM City Iloilo, but it gets it's not like a nightlife kind of city. The places I would say that are nightlife cities here in the Philippines is Angeles City, of course, because of Fields Avenue. I think they have a new name for it now. It used to be Walking Street. I think is it called Red Street now? I don't know. I don't pay attention too much to that area. And then Dumaguete City. Those are like the if you like the nightlife, you want that expat kind of vibe. And then Boracay Island, if you want that, you got Nigi Nigi, you got the Levantin. Fortune, Bajau, they live in stilts. Yeah, that's what I know. The Bajau, they're kind of like water people, right? Fortune, they live in, they dive for stuff in the ocean, maybe spearfish, traditionally anyway. But we've had them, here in Aklan for many years. I remember even in college when I was in Kalibo, 2012 to 2016, there were always Bajaus and they're always just begging for money. Unfortunately, I don't think there's employment for them available. So they're here. They're just here in Kalibo. They started in Mindanao and moved up. Oh, okay, all right. At one time, even in Boracay, I know the local Ati in Boracay, they would be on White Beach and they would do the same thing. But now they have, like in Boracay, the Ati village, so they made a village for them, run by nuns. So you don't see as much now in Boracay like on White Beach. But once in a while, you'll still run into either the Bajau or either the Ati. Yeah, I'm pretty close to a family there at that church. Sad. Oh, I know, Shane. That's like, it's unfortunate that that's almost become a norm now. It's like, I remember when used to shock me when I hear, shooting happen in the U.S., and be like, whoa, shooting. But now it seems like, unfortunately, it's become happening so often. Lord. Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. Hey, Lowell, my friend, kumusta from Oregon? Kumusta, Lowell? God bless, my brother. Joel, looking for my shirt. Panay Posse, Eileen wants a mug. All right, yeah, I got you, man. I got you, Joel and Eileen. No worries. I'll have your Panay Posse shirt ready, and I'll have your mugs ready. No worries at all. Let me know if you even want your Panay Posse to have your name on it. I know Dazzle, she prefers to have her name, not just the Panay Posse. I actually have an order. My friend Alan from Texas, I've made videos before regard. I don't know if if you all seen the Boss Rooster, the Boss Rooster. So and my friend Alan from Texas, he made a design. Of course, it's the rooster, rooster, and then Boss Rooster on the bottom. And he wants a shirt made, and I told him I'll get it done. I'll get it done. So. That shirt, that might be the next shirt that you'll see. I'll have a Boss Rooster shirt. It looks awesome. The design that Alan made is like awesome. And now I have a source. Pretty much any design we want. I have a source here now in Numancia. This lady's like good with computer, good with design, and she can print it any color shirt. Joel, message me what color you want. If you want it yellow, if you want it black, you want whatever color you want. We can get the shirt. I can get the shirt and I can bring it to her, and then she can print on the shirt. Ray Robles, hey Gino, is there a way around the 24-month mandatory wait period to establish a good account history when applying for a Pag-ibig loan account? Ooh, I'll have to research that one, Ray, because I don't know much about the Pag-ibig. The Pag-ibig, I've never signed up for Pag-ibig. Pag-ibig here in the Philippines, I know is like a housing for Filipino citizens. I think it's only for Filipino citizens, I'm sure. It's a government program here in the Philippines that you can get a home loan through Pag-ibig. Let me take a picture of that. I'll have to research that, Ray. I don't know much about Pag-ibig. I bought our house here, our 2-bedroom, 1-bath. I bought this through Banco de Oro. I just had a mortgage with Banco de Oro. And here, a little different from in the U.S. I know in the U.S., a lot of times the loans on the houses are like 30 years, I think, 20 or 30 years. Here in the Philippines, they base it on your age. Like, for me, since I got this home when I was like almost 50, I couldn't get a longer loan more than 15 years because they want to make sure I'm alive. They want to make sure I'm alive on the loan, on the mortgage. So at 50, I could only get a 15-year loan. So they figure I could live to 65. If you're younger, if you're 40, you can get a longer term on the mortgage. But it's funny because they make you get a mortgage insurance. So if I die, the house gets paid off. It's like ever since I got the loan, every year I have to pay mortgage insurance. The good thing is the mortgage insurance keeps dropping every year because the amount of money I owe on the house lessens every year. So I guess that's the good part of it. At least it's not like most insurance I know in the U.S. just keeps going up and up. At least here, insurance here goes down. The value of your car insurance drops every year because the value of your car lessens. Same thing with the mortgage insurance because I owe less every year, so the insurance lessens every year. Well, I will research that, Ray. Pag-ibig home loan, 24 way around. Well, way around. More likely, if it's a rule they came up with, probably not going to be a way around it, unless you know somebody, somebody that works in Pag-ibig. That's usually the workaround with a lot of things here. Is that you know somebody that. Michael, my good friend in Trece Martires, Cavite. Good morning, bro. Saturday, yes. And Dazzle and I, we're by ourselves. Mom and Leanna went to Katiklan. They're gonna be back tomorrow. So when Dazzle wakes up, I'm sure she'll want to do something today. We're probably end up in Kalibo somewhere. For sure we're gonna do something today. Now, these sell. I know. It's like now when I comment, when I reply to comments, I have to make sure that I do, I read it, now because of the spell check, sometimes. Do you like haggis? I've heard of that. I've heard of haggis, but I think I know what you mean, but let me just Google it. So Haggis. Haggis. Food. Haggis. Is it food? Scottish dish. It's a Scottish dish. I probably would like that. I mean, even though it's got heart, liver, I like organs of meat. I do. It's like and I'm not picky. I'm not a picky eater. I've traveled. I was in the military for 20 years, so I got to travel several other countries, lived in other countries. So I'm not picky when it comes to food. As long as I see people eat it, I'll try it. I will at least try it. But I'm not a fan of balut. I don't eat balut. Michael C. Had issues with it. Versus Pinay possible. Pinay. LOL. You should have her read Green Balut and Spam by Sus Mariosep. Sus Mariosep. Green Eggs and Ham. I did see that book, that Green Eggs and Ham, when we were in the Kumon. I was looking at the several books they had at Kumon, and that was one of the books, Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. But I haven't seen that Sus Mario. I'm sure it's like funny. I'm sure it's funny, that Green Balut and Spam. Good morning, brother. Hey, there's Ruben. Ruben's in San Diego right now. He'll be back here in Kalibo soon, right, Ruben? Like first week of September, second week of September. Oh, man, it's only a couple of days to September, so you'll be headed back to Kalibo, brother. JSM, I'm going good. Nearly every day this week, I met with folks to sell stuff. Nice. Had to go 9 a.m. and back to PAs to sell stuff. Hey, Ruben, all right. I got to run like tonight, spraying them bees talk to everybody. All right. God bless, Shane. Take care, Shane. Take care. God bless. My last week and a half here in the U.S. Can't wait to get back to the PI. All right, Ruben. I know you missed your pares, your pares retiro. And I'm sure the people at Pares Retiro misses you too, Ruben. Ruben's like a local now. When he walks into Pares Retiro, all that crew, he likes to eat there. They got good pares. It's like a beef dish, kind of like beef and gravy dish. Angus beef. They advertise it, Angus beef, and then garlic rice. And then Ruben likes their lomi. The lomi, the goto, the tripe goto. Ruben likes that. So he's a regular at Pares Retiro. And the crew there, the manager, everybody knows Ruben. And then I'm sure and Ruben also has a group that the Manongs in Kalibo. He gets to hang out with the Manongs. The Manongs in Kalibo, they're like older gentlemen in Kalibo. A lot of them are like retired politician, engineer. They hang out at Dunkin' Donuts. and Ruben hangs out with them. It's like, I'll have to hang out with you guys one time, Ruben, so you can introduce me to the Manongs. I'll just listen. I'll drink my I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so I'll just sit there and listen to all the Manongs. I'm sure they got great stories. Ruben. Got around 3 weeks to empty out my large unit that will. I actually have. Oh, Ruben, I'm waiting for your landlord, Ruben's landlord. So I have this. I'll show you guys. Ruben had sent this balikbayan box right here, and it was full of Ruben stuff from San Diego. So I emptied out Ruben's balikbayan box. It's now sitting inside my car. My whole trunk of my car is full of stuff from Ruben's balikbayan box. And I'm waiting for Ruben's landlord. Ruben's landlord used to be my professor. We call him the professor. My professor in college in STI College Kalibo. So Ruben's stuff is inside my car. So today the professor is supposed to call me so I can take it to Ruben's apartment because I don't have the key. I don't have the key to Ruben's apartment. So I have to like get the key from Ruben's landlord, the professor. The professor. Oh man, I'm looking at the house that's being painted. Oh, Ate, there's Ate. Looks like they are painting like the looks like the roof part now. Looks like the roof part now. But as you can see, it's still quiet in the neighborhood here. Since I started the live stream about an hour and a half ago, it's just like this all the time in our street here. Always quiet, except for sunset time when the kids all come out to ride their bikes, play out here. Sometimes they play volleyball, sometimes they play badminton. I'll have to try to film that the next time it's busy here on our street. Looks like the sunrise got covered by clouds now, so it looks like it might rain now. I'll just have to see. I'll just have to see if it'll start raining. That will, $300 a month. That's a lot of savings there, Daniel. That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Man, $300, that could be your rent here. That could be your rent here, Daniel. That could be your monthly rent here in the Philippines, man. So if you can save 6 months of $300, man, that's 6 months of rent here in Kalibo, brother. Good day, Gino. Salamat po. Salamat for joining the live stream. Hi, bye, Maggie. Bye, Maggie. Take care, everyone. Have a good. All right. God bless. God bless, John, Salve, and Maggie. Cam, I won't miss leaving Southern California, but I will look forward to coming back to visit again just before Christmas. All right, all right. I'm in the house. I'm in the house. I'm in the house, my brother. My good friend in Sacramento, California. I met a guy yesterday, Ray. He's from San Francisco. He's now here, retired in the Philippines. He came to the U.S. like in the early 80s. Worked in the U.S. Not military. He's not military, but now he's back. He's currently living. His wife's Filipina. They moved to Metro Manila because that's where they left. They were from Parañaque when they moved to the U.S. But now they're looking to find a place here in Western Visayas. Looks like they're gonna end up either on Panay Island or Negros Islands. They're debating on which place. So they're here today in Kalibo. Met them yesterday. They're going to Rojas City and then Iloilo City after that, then Bacolod and then Dumaguete. Many people are moving to like this part of the Philippines, Western Visayas, between Panay Island and Negros Island, man. I think good locations. It's just a good location. Doesn't get hit with many typhoons. Not a problem with flooding, typhoons, things like that. And you know, Ray, you're from Olotoyan Island. You know about Panay Island. It's just a good place, I think, cost-wise, the whole Panay Island just like cheaper than a lot of places in the Philippines. And then just wide open spaces, easy to drive, like when I drive to Rojas City, to Capiz, to Antique, when we went to Malumpati, when I drive to Iloilo, it's just an easy drive. It's not like you don't get traffic, you don't get congestion. Beautiful areas to drive, mountainous, rice fields, ocean view. Perfect for like motorcycle enthusiasts. If you're like a big on riding motorcycles, man, there's just like motorcycle groups here that you can join, Same thing with me. How do, Gino? Scott, all right, Scott, all right. Thank you for joining the live stream, Scott. HD, hope all is well with you. Hello to everyone. Gathering all the pasalubong to fit in my luggage. All right, Ruben. Take Dazzle to the Grand Canyon. Oh, for sure, for sure. I lived in Arizona, Scott. You know, I lived in Arizona for 7 years. I was in Tucson, Arizona. Of course, of course. That's why I said Arizona. We'll probably land in either California. I have relatives in California, friends in California, Arizona, Nevada, that area, and then New Mexico. My friend Travis in New Mexico, and then Texas. My sister lives in Houston. So many places that I can take Dazzle. Virginia, I actually I haven't made it to the Appalachian Mountains. The only place I remember going to was Virginia Beach. You know, like the Navy town in Virginia. But I would love to, that's why I figure when we go, in 3 years, once I get my Social Security, we'll have the money. We'll have the money, the airline ticket. We'll be able to afford it, and then I'm planning on doing like a van life. We would do van life for however long tourist visa that Dazzle will get. We'll just do that. However long they allow her to stay in the United States, and then we'll be back. We have no plans at all of moving to the United States. Just tourists. I'll be a tourist. I don't need a tourist visa. Dazzle needs a tourist visa to the U.S. For me, 2 phones, 1 USA and 1 TH. It's a must. Yeah, see, good plan. And that's a lot of Americans. I know a lot of expats moving here. They keep their U.S. phone because of the banking transaction, the transactions with the VA website, different government websites. It's hard. Like for us, once you're here, it's darn near impossible to access a lot of those government websites. I won't miss my connection. Yeah, you won't miss your connection. To the DOD, exactly, DOD and the VA, man. I have a hard time just to log into the VA just because I don't have a US phone. So it's a good idea, Daniel. I totally agree, Sergeant USA. The DOD, VA, they use login, government, and ID. I added much, 2-factor, over the cell, get a hard. Yeah, you could do that, HD, since you're there. And it's good that you're preparing that before you get here, because once you get here, man, if you got to get an account for any of those DOD, VA, and you're here in the Philippines without a U.S. Cell phone number, it is not easy. It is complicated, man. It is complicated. Make sure to bring those C's to Toblerone sticker. Pasalubong. Yo, HD, all right. I know you are going to think my 8-year plan. Hey, nothing's crazy, Scott. Nothing's crazy. Never too early to prepare. Never too early to prepare. Nothing wrong with dreaming is what I always say. We can all dream, right? Dreaming is free. To dream about moving to the Philippines, to dream about van life for me, whatever. It's free. Dreaming is free. Nothing wrong with dreaming, brother. We used to call that shutdown, rolling up the sidewalks. Shut down. Oh, okay, rolling up the sidewalks. The largest city near where I grew up, Roanoke, Virginia. All right, Roanoke, Virginia, had blue laws restricting what kind of business could be open. Oh, nice. Sundays, right? Probably like something to do with alcohol, I'm sure. Something, no alcohol on Sunday. Blue laws. Manongs of Kalibo. There you go, the Manongs of Kalibo. That's what they called them in the newspapers. What was your mortgage process for Banco de Oro besides your age? Did they check your history, income, etc.? Pretty easy, HD. They wanted the down payment. They wanted the down payment. Down payment, I think it's like 20% down payment. My down payment was, I think, $5,000, around $5,000. once I paid the down payment, the only thing I needed was 6 months of my statement from the military. My what do you call that? Not LES. LES used to be like, but I just printed. I went to the my pay, and my last 6 months of retirement pay. I just printed that, showed them the last 6 months, showed them my Philippine citizenship, because I'm a Filipino citizen. I'm American citizen. I'm Filipino citizen. So I had to show them that, because you can't own land in the Philippines if you're not a Filipino citizen. So I had to show that, and that's it. That's it. That's pretty much it. Because the house, when I bought the house, this house, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, solid house, cement structure, land lot here, 88 square meter. This whole house, house and lot, in 2015 was only $25,000. So it's not a lot of money, Maybe now it's more, if you want something like this, but so, and I paid like 5,000. So I only borrowed $20,000, for a 15-year loan. That's why our monthly payment is only about $200 a month. They don't have here in the Philippines, there is no what is that called in the U.S.? Like that credit in the U.S., that credit score. There's no such thing like that here in the Philippines. So no credit history, there's no credit history to check. So basically, the bank is taking a chance on you because they figure you don't want to lose your down payment. If I default on this, I lost $5,000 basically if I can't pay. And they own the title. They could sell it again or repossess it. Are blue laws related to blue-collar businesses? Gino, here in the U.S., we have PMI. If you owe more than 80% of your home, you have to pay extra. Oh, extra mortgage. I think I've heard that. But here, ever since I got the loan from Banco de Oro, I have to carry mortgage insurance from the very beginning. So I've always paid mortgage insurance because if something happens to me, that's just on the title that we're both on the loan. It's like, but the good thing is if I do pass away, the mortgage insurance will pay off the loan. So free and clear. That's all, will be free and clear on the house. And we have less than 5 years now, so that's not very long. Pretty soon, we'll own the title of the house. The only bad thing is when you own the title on the property, I have to start paying property tax. Because right now, I don't pay property tax because the bank holds the title. Different dynamic than in the U.S. I know in the U.S., the minute you own something, you pay property tax. Here, you don't have to pay property tax until you own the property. Green balut and spam is a joke. Balut and spam are the most Filipino breakfast foods you can think of to make it sound like, oh, okay, all right. I thought maybe somebody came up with that. And I'm sure, somebody comes up with like silly stuff like that here in the Philippines. I thought maybe somebody copied the story. Your Pinay can probably try to get it instead. I saw your video regarding property taxes. I was shocked to hear that you don't have to pay property if you have an existing home loan from the bank. Yep, I don't. I don't pay. I don't own the title, so I can't go to Numancia, the property assessor in Numancia. I have to bring a title, and I don't own the title. So there's not a way, that I could, Because the difference here, Ray, it's not like, people in the U.S., I know property tax is expensive in the U.S. because property tax, the town where you pay your property tax, the city, that's where they get their money for the police department, for the parks, for the schools. That's why the higher property tax, a lot of times the better school district. Here in the Philippines, it's not like that. For one, there's really no cost for parks here. It's like maintenance. Like in our town of Numancia. As far as the police, we hardly have any police here. It's like I rarely see Numancia police. And most and the school, like the school, Numancia Integrated School, is funded by DepEd, Department of Education. So it doesn't come from property taxes. I don't even know what and I know many of the people here, many of the farmers, many of the that live outside the subdivision here, they don't pay big amount of property taxes here. Not like in the U.S. Like I said, in the U.S. they use a lot of that money to pay for a lot of stuff. Here, the mayor's office here in our little town office there, really low budget. There's not much that they pay for. Ooh, they're doing some kind of construction. I hear some grinding of metal, grinding of metal here. It's that house that it's coming from that house there. They're doing some grinding or something. It looks like it's coming from that. The roof has that, what do you call that? Rain gutter. Looks like there's a rain gutter right there on the ground. Maybe they're cutting the rain gutter, replacing the rain gutter on that house. Oh, right there's Kuya. He's coming out. He don't look like he's painting today. Looks like he's gonna be fixing the rain gutters. I'm just glad that now I to hear construction now here in our community, because when I first moved here to Kalibo Aklan, I was house number 1 on our street. I was the first house to get built here. So the first year that we lived here, 2016 to 2017, and even maybe 2 years, man, there was just non-stop construction here. That sound, that like grinding, I heard that for like a year and a half. It was like horrible, man. Construction everywhere on our street. I guess that's the price you pay for being early in the subdivision, is the rest of the neighborhood got built, when I was already living here. Non-stop construction when I first moved here. The professor sounds like a hitman. I know, right? That should be a good movie. HD, The Professor. That's what we call my Ruben's landlord. When Ruben and I text message, hey, how's the professor? Or contact the professor. I need to get in his house. So that's our call sign for the professor. She'll be 42 then, HD. Filipinos' lives are already hard enough as it is. Adding more taxes. Yeah, I agree. That's why here, HD, like property tax, I know like the locals here. Imagine this, HD, here in our province, most of these people are like farmers. They grow rice. They're already barely making any money growing rice. And if you hit them with taxes, that's just horrible. Same thing with the fishermen people, like here in Numancia, Kamansi, Nabitas, all these fishermen, they barely are able to put food on the table. So if you're like gonna tax them on their property, it's like, that's why, property tax here in the Philippines, in our province anyway, very minimal. Even if once I owned this house free and clear, I would be surprised if I pay more than $50 a year on property tax. They just don't charge you a lot on property tax here. Why don't you park your car inside? Oh, good question. For one, Mom put all those plants blocking my gate to open, but I can park it inside, but I would just be like, opening the gate, going inside and out, like you notice, our street is peaceful. Is that nobody's gonna mess with my car outside, and I like just in and out. I like hopping in the car and going. If I parked it inside, I would have to open the gate, get out my car out, close the gate. It's like for me, it's just convenience. Convenience. Nobody. If you notice, nobody hardly goes through our street, so nobody's gonna mess with my car. I plan on purchasing the property before I retire. Oh, okay. I always tell people, Scott, I always recommend to people, same thing, my recommendation to Ben and Maya yesterday, move here first. Move here first. Try the area where you plan on buying a lot or buying a home for like about a year. Don't buy before you get here. Just my recommendation. I have just seen too many people make the mistake of buying land, building a home in the land, and all of a sudden they don't like the area. Seen it happen too many times. A lot of times when you live, the one thing good when you live in a gated community, there's a lot of rules here. People follow rules. I like the order. When you buy a lot outside a gated community, there's no telling what kind of neighbor you're gonna get. And then, you might have a good neighbor, good landowner next to you. Next thing you know, they sell the land and somebody moves in there. And all of a sudden, you are neighbor with like somebody that owns 100 fighting cocks. The roosters, 100 roosters that will crow all day. Many houses here in the provinces are like that. I can go like outside our community here, not even 2 blocks, and there's houses where there's a small house and they have like 50 roosters. They train them or whatever to like go in the fighting arena, to the cockfighting arena. So if you can imagine, you're gonna be hearing roosters all day long. Or you can get a neighbor that likes to burn their trash, because in the province, we don't have consistent picking up of trash here. Here in our community, we pay HOA, so there's the garbage people that pick up our trash. But if you live outside the province here, like the services, because there's no property taxes hardly, it's hit or miss whether the place you live, that they will collect trash. So a lot of people here in the province, they burn trash. So you could be living next door to somebody that burned their trash all the time, and they burn plastic, styrofoam, you name it, they burn it. And that toxic fume. So things like that you have to consider. That's why I always tell people, rent first, rent a year, know the area. If you see a piece of land, ask the neighbors, ask that community, hey, are there any issues here? Does it flood here? Does it, do they have landslides in this area? Things like that. I would not buy a property sight unseen, or you didn't live in that area. You just, it's a good deal, I'm buying it. Very risky, very risky. And then I'm sure people have, you've known, I'm sure, anytime you do construction here in the Philippines, building your own house, it's going to be stressful. Maybe some expats, some vloggers make it look like it's easy here. It is not easy here to build a home. I have not met a person here that has not gotten stressed over building a house, because there's not a lot of standards here. There's no housing inspectors here. A lot of times the builder that you'll hire is just somebody that was recommended to you, or a friend of the family kind of thing. There's not a lot of licensing here when it comes to like electrical, plumbing, that kind of thing. So building a house is very stressful here. I forgot to tell you that you might want to hold on the movies or DVDs that I'm sure you found inside the balikbayan. There's a lot of them. I may have sent yeah, I saw you sent a DVD player, Ruben, and there's some discs, but we don't really do everything's, it's like, we download stuff from torrent, if we want to watch it, or Netflix, it's like, But I did see you had the, I was looking through the stuff room and I saw like DVD players. Man, machine and a play and the disc. I said, man, I haven't seen this in years. I sent my DVD and Blu-ray. I did this, I was surprised, HD, when I opened the balikbayan. I saw this player. I was like, Blu-ray. I was like, wow, I haven't seen one of those machines since I moved here to the Philippines 14 years ago. And then the disc, I was like, but I'll take it all to your house, or your apartment, Ruben, once the professor contacts me. I also hope my Xbox stuff also makes it. All right. I remember, I had the only video game that I brought here, HD. I had a Wii, a Nintendo Wii. That was the only machine I had. I like the bowling. You strap in your hand. It kind of had the Dazzle, and I would play that. But of course, in my apartment, my classmates from college, they accidentally plugged it into the wall one time. I had a little transformer that I used for the Wii because it came from the US, so you have to have a transformer, and it blew. So after that, I never got another. I don't do video games anymore. That was the last time I had a video game player. I had no interest. Ooh, man, I forgot, man. I'm already at got 2 hours here. I wasn't even paying attention, man. I'm like, okay, I got to speed up. Because I want to end the live stream here. I always try to keep man, the sun is coming out now all of a sudden. It's weird how it is. Earlier, I showed you guys it was cloudy, but now the sun is coming up again. I have no interest in returning to the U.S. once I move there. Will be spent on living. Yes, right? It's the same way with me, man, Daniel. People ask me that all the time. Have you been back in the U.S.? When are you coming back to the U.S.? It just didn't interest me anymore. Like when I moved here, my life is here. I was grateful for my life in the U.S. I'm able to retire here in the Philippines because of my service in the military in the United States. But I just don't have any reason to go to the U.S. anymore. If it was just me, I would never go back. I just wanted to show Dazzle because Dazzle's curious. She's seen pictures of me, in America. She watches TV like everybody, and I do want to show that to Dazzle. That's why I want to do like a few months of van life with Dazzle in the U.S. and then that's it. And now, they're even making that hard now on the tourist visa now. If it already costs money to apply for a tourist visa, to get the tourist visa. And now I think there's a bond now. You have to like put up money to go to the United States on a tourist visa because they're afraid that you would jump ship and like be an illegal in the US. So now I think up to $15,000 that you got to show like a bond money to like go to America. So they're not making it easy. They're not making it easy for Dazzle and I just to be a tourist in the US. And if I have to petition Dazzle to move to the US, which I'm not doing because I don't have any plans on moving back, it's not cheap. People think all the time, it's like you marry a Filipina, you want to bring the Filipina back in the US. It's not cheap. The processing fee for the embassy, for the visa, thousands of dollars, yeah. And the trip to Manila, going there back and forth to Manila. If you live in Luzon, it's another thing. But I live in Visaya. I got to like fly to Manila, get a hotel, the airfare, all the cost that comes with that. Not cheap to like process all that paperwork. And then there's no guarantee you're going to get approved. They can just deny you, even for a tourist visa, even for a petition to move your family to the U.S. They can just deny you at the embassy, no reason given. They don't have to give you a reason in the U.S. embassy. If they deny you, you just got denied. They're not gonna tell you like why they denied you. To me, it's like too much work for me. Actually, I would never, like I said, I wouldn't do it. If not for Dazzle, because I wanted her to see the U.S. My large luggage will be filled with bags of Brussels sprouts. No sugar. Dazzle will bar me from seeing Gina if I can't. Without it. Gino, the plan is for my LDR, if it all works out, and married to me in the U.S. for 5 continuous years. So she becomes eligible for SSA debt until she's 63. All right. I mean, enjoy your day with Des. Oh, we will for sure, my friend. I still get a yearly LES. All right, from DOD. All right. Cam, so Dazzle has that embargo set up unless you provide sacrificial offerings. Sorry, I'm late. Oh, no worries. The Royal Master. All right. I didn't think about Snickers, the bags of mini Snickers, the Halloween giveaways, my favorite too. Thanks for reminding me. I can fit a few bags. I can fit a few bags. I'm doing good, Royal Master. Just starting my day out here. It's like after the live stream, Dazzle's still sleeping, so I might have to, answer messages on my phone, answer comments and things like that. But lazy day, probably lazy. I mean, we got good weather now. It looks like the sun is coming up. Interjection in short. Yeah, I've heard Sus Mario. Actually, Liana says that Sus Mario is because I guess that term that she heard. So I hear that from her. I wonder if the bank pays property taxes on the deeds they control. I don't know who pays the property taxes, Scott, but not me. That's my main concern. It's not me. That's correct, HD. Good morning, good morning. There you go. There's James and Karen from James and Karen's Adventure. Good morning, James. Happy day, James and Karen. Oh, right there, TextPat, my good friend from Galveston County, Texas. I can log on to eTravel website on my laptop, but the mobile app won't let me. It won't send a login code. I'm ready. Read others try mobile app and doesn't work for them. Have you had issues with mobile app? Man, I've had issues with mobile app. I've had issues with websites. That's one of the things, Brian, especially if you don't open the account in the US, like people make it like people ask, oh, Gino, you should open this. You should open. Man, when you're here in the Philippines and you're trying to open an account in the US for anything, not easy. Not easy. That's why I said, whatever you need in the US, open that in the US. Make sure you got, your American cell phone connected, everything. Do that while you're in the US because once you get here in the Philippines, it could be an issue here. Apps don't work here all of a sudden for you. Things like I hear that all the time from people. I see it on the expat groups. When they come here, the websites that they're used to using in the U.S. or the apps they're used to use in the U.S. all of a sudden they don't work here in the Philippines. So just be ready for that. Be ready for that. Know that it will not always work. Yeah. Those are some of the things that I always mention, like the difficulties of like transitioning to the Philippines. Not only like the technical portion, you're dealing with adjustments here. So that's why I always tell people it's not an easy transition here in the Philippines. I always tell people find a sponsor, find a guy that will help you here. Because, between trying to adjust to the life, adjusting to the culture, you also have those technical difficulties that you're going to encounter here. It sometimes can be overwhelming. It's good when you got at least somebody to talk to. You're not alone. You don't land in Cebu City knowing nobody. Like that one guy I mentioned before on the Philippine expats group, he landed in Cebu City and he has nobody. He's like, he don't even have friends. He can't find people to hang out with. That makes it hard. That makes it hard when you get here and you don't know anybody here. Gino, it is a shame about all those predators that eat roosters. Just saying. Yeah. Predators. Does the wind blow that way? Oh, I'm sorry. It is a dirt. Your hair fell out. Okay. I don't get I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. TextPad, I haven't tried to go through mobile app. I was told by Philippine airline employee to use it, but I haven't done that yet. I'm thinking I may have to email myself the QR code from my laptop to phone unless I figure it out. Yeah, I think you're gonna find out, Brian. There's just some things, when you get here, unfortunately, there will be things that won't work right, and then we'll just have to find a workaround or try to figure it out because, systems get upgraded in the U.S. Things sometimes when you get here works and then later on doesn't. With apps, with like websites. It's unfortunate, but it's gonna happen, and hopefully it doesn't frustrate you too much, Tex and Brian. Hopefully it doesn't, because there will be things that won't work here. It's happened to all of us that moved here. Happened to many people. You just got to be patient. You just got to remember you're no longer in the U.S. Like I said, the U.S. A lot of things in the U.S. Work very efficient, very properly. It's like here in the Philippines, they have a tendency of not work. I forgot to mention. I just remembered, HD. I know I'm running long, but I wanted to talk about this, HD, because I remember you asking me. I had an account with a credit card company. I opened one credit card account here in the Philippines. I won't say the bank because I don't want to disparage the bank. One credit card account. I closed the account in 2024, I think middle of 2024. And then in 2025, I closed the account. I even had points on the card and they were saying, oh, you're gonna lose out on your points. I said, I don't want it. I don't trust credit cards anymore. Close the account. So I had that recording. They never sent me a letter. You don't get a letter here, unfortunately, HD, in the mail. I don't get any mail, period, here. I didn't get an email, but they did have the phone call recorded because everything's recorded here, I guess, when you call the credit card company. So about middle of 2024, I closed the account, my only credit card I ever opened in the Philippines. For some reason, in March of 2025, a charge was made on my account, on that credit card. I even cut the card. I got rid of the card because I was like, I'm done with that card. I'm never gonna get a credit card again. So for some reason, I got an email that said 4,000 pesos got charged on the account. I'm like, so I called the bank, of course. I credit card. I said, hey, I closed this account last year. How come I'm getting charged in March? And they said, oh, that can't happen. Not supposed to happen. Sorry about that, sir. That happened in March of this year, right? April came. The 4,000 charge now has a 4,500, because interest, because I didn't pay. And then from March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months, that statement I kept getting on my email, it raised up to almost 8,000 pesos, almost doubled, right? And then the whole time they moved it from a collection agency here in the Philippines. The collection agency kept calling me, telling me, you need to pay the account. And I tell them, I closed the account. I'm not paying it. I closed the account. Contact the credit card company. They don't talk. The credit card company that they assign a collection agency, they don't talk to each other because every single month I would call the bank and I would tell them, hey, your collection agency contacted me. Can you fix that? Oh, sir, well, sorry about that. We'll fix it. Sorry about every month. Every single month, I'm calling it. Every single month. Until finally, August happened. Just last week, I got a thing from the from the collection agency and from there, zero balance. Thank you for your payment. And I did not pay. I did not pay the collection agency. I'm like, I got the statement from them saying, thank you for your payment. I didn't pay. So I don't know what they did with each other, but took 6 months. 6 months, HD. Like I said, credit card companies, banks here does not operate like it is in the U.S. In the U.S., if there's a false charge on my account in the U.S., I call the credit card company same day. They're cut all the cards, cut everything, right? Fix everything, done. Here, took numerous phone calls to that bank. I took numerous people calling me, collection agency. just aggravating. That's why I'm never gonna open a credit card account here again in the Philippines. And my new iPad, it can't log in with only my laptop. In all seriousness, I will be spending several months a year there before I retire scouting. Thank you for keeping an eye for the newbies. Oh, there's Chloe. There's Chloe. She's out here. Chloe's out here. So Dazzle's awake already. You're welcome. You're welcome, Scott. Are you using the Safari or Chrome? Safari. I'm using Safari. Or did you download it through the App Store? Oh, you might be text file. I thought you were asking me. Bye, Chloe. Chloe just peed, so she's going back inside. Let me see if the door opens. All right, I'm gonna try to do the message here real quick because the noise anyway from that construction is getting loud here. Website, mobile app, I'll try it. Cam, that's true. Everyone is basically using streaming, negating the use DVD, Ray. All right, Smiley. The bond is only for countries where they have large numbers of people overstaying. The PH isn't on that list. Oh, great to know. Great to know. Great to know. Thanks, Scott. I'll have to go through this process. I'm just going through. All right. Wait. Able to log in. Website. That sounds good to hear. We're using the official website. Strange that mobile has to work. Might check. I've double checked, deleted, reinstalled. It is the banking that worries me. Lots of planning required. Yep. I always tell, Scott, I always tell people, if you're in the U.S., just ensure there's several ways for you to get your money in the Philippines. Open a couple of Wise, Remitly, Zoom, 2 ways at least to send money to yourself. Open 2 bank accounts in the U.S., 1 credit union, 1 regular bank. Multiple ways for you to get your money. Don't rely on one system to get your money when you get here to the Philippines. The more ways you can get your money that's sitting in the United States, the better. Those predators and winds are for dealing with troublesome neighbors. I've had rural, troublesome neighbors before in a country that didn't want to help. Same, the response is incorrect email. Weird. I wonder if I had to create another login. Yeah, Brian, one thing, that even gets worse when you come here, unfortunately, when you're here in the Philippines. That's why it's good that you're sorting it out while you're in the U.S. because if you have to open an account from the Philippines at any of the websites, anything like that, it's difficult. It's difficult to do once you get here. That's funny about your CC. Okay, that's funny. I don't know what. I'm not good sometimes when people abbreviate. It's like in the military, I was always trained because, in the military, we had so much jargon in the military. Like we abbreviate everything. But when we talk to civilians, I was always taught to put the word and then the abbreviation in parentheses. That way, you won't know a lot of the military jargon that I know. So that way, when you talk, you can understand each other. TextPad, they might have a different server app. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. All right, TextPad. All right, Brian. All right, I got to the bottom. All right, trying to live life how Pope Francis Jesus. All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna end the live stream here because I'm over 2 hours. I try to keep the live streams at 2 hours. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the live stream. I appreciate everyone's time and see you on the next live stream. Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone.